Good morning, and thank you, Sherry. And good morning to all the participants. And thank you for attending our local agency guide to implement the Title VI federal program. The bulk of the presentation will be provided by Kathy Lee, our Civil Rights Coordinator here at the Caltrans Division of Local Assistance. And the Title VI program overall has the intent so that the state of California and our local public agencies do not discriminate. And as such, we want to provide some active examples as we go through the presentation. So I'm going to be describing the pictures as those may not be entirely visible with anybody who has a disability concerning any vision. So on the left, we have a picture of the state capitol, and it's a beautiful sunny day there. Actually, here in Sacramento, I know some of you are not here calling in. It's rather hazy outside, so we're wishing for this kind of weather, which will be here in a few months. In the lower right corner, we have a picture of the Title VI program and some of the items that once implemented, the intent is not to discriminate against the following subjects: race, color, disability, low income, limited English proficiency, sex, age, and national origin. Next slide, please, Kathy. So in this slide, we have the presenters today: Kathy Lee, our Civil Rights Coordinator, Annette Goudot, and myself, Daniel Burke. If you have any questions after the end of the presentation that maybe you don't think of while the presentation is going on, or if we ask you to send us a question privately, you may go ahead and contact us at our email addresses. The three of us work for the Program Reviews and Outreach branch. Our branch's mission is to provide training and guidance to improve stakeholder processes. So we hope that this training and guidance will help your agency to carry out and perform the Title VI program and implement it so as to prohibit any discrimination rather. Our vision for our branch is to strengthen partnerships and civil rights through excellent customer service and user-friendly communications. So we hope this presentation is easy to understand, and if not, you can always ask us and email us a question. Next slide, please, Kathy. Our learning objectives today is to understand what goes in behind the Federal Highway Administration Title VI implementation and a program plan to meet the Title VI program goals. Again, this presentation is solely for Federal Highway Administration funds, which are passed through the Division of Local Assistance to our local partners at various local public agencies in California. And as such, we want to ensure that our local public agencies has the information from this presentation to fulfill the requirements that are placed on them as a pass-through agency of federal aid funds. And in the bottom, we have a note that says, although Title 23 of the Code of Federal Regulations, Part 200, is explicitly stated for state departments of transportations, the regulations are also used to apply for local public agencies. And what this means is when the funds are passed through from Caltrans to our local partners, we want to ensure that our local partners and local public agencies are continuing to carry out the objectives of the Title VI program. And on the right-hand side of the screen, we have people sitting at their chairs. So we hope that this presentation interests you, perhaps like the students here, and feel free to ask any questions into the Q&A box as instructed by Sherry. I'm going to turn things over to Annette. Annette?
Thank you, Daniel. Good morning. I'm Annette Goudot, and it is our pleasure to host your training today. To make for a comfortable training session, we will follow the listed communication rules as shown in this slide number 4. Item number 1. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted and available on the Caltrans Division of Local Assistance Title VI website. Number 2, We will provide about 30 seconds at the end of each slide to provide you with time to add your questions to the Q&A portal. Please include the slide number associated to your question. Number 3, your questions and answers will be addressed toward the end of this training, and frequently asked questions and answers will be posted onto the Title VI website within the next few weeks. If you have questions after this training, please contact either Kathy, Daniel, or myself. Number 4, we will take a 5-minute break toward mid-presentation to stretch, grab a cup of coffee, a bite to eat, or whatever you would like to do to help get you through a successful training. And finally, item number 5, we will have fun poll questions for you throughout this training. Good luck. I will now pass it over to Kathy Lee for slide number 5 and for the duration of this training.
All right, thank you, Annette. Welcome, everyone. Hi, I'm Kathy Lee. I will be providing the presentation for the remaining of this webinar. So we're on slide number 5. So slide number 5, we have what is Title VI. And to the left, there's an image of a description of what Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So let's go ahead and read that together. I can go ahead and read that out loud with you all. So no person shall, on the ground of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefit of, or be subject to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal assistance. Civil Rights Act of 1964. We also have to the right other non-discrimination cross-cutting authority included as well. So I'll go ahead and give you a few seconds to read over those authorities to the right. Okay, so I just want to go over, spend a few minutes on this slide, particularly with what is Title VI. We often do get questions and concerns related to what is Title VI and what is Title VII. Although they're very similar, but there's a big difference between those two. So I want to spend a little bit more time to just explain to you what is Title VI versus what is Title VII. So Title VI is what we'll be training on you all today. Title VI is external, meaning that it's public impact. So it prohibits discrimination based on color, race, or national origin by any institute or any local public agency, activity, or a program that receives federal assistance from the federal government or even from Caltrans. An example I can provide for you is, for example, if a consultant bid on a contract for a local agency and they were denied based on these statutes, then that would be what you would call a Title VI. Title VII, which is internal, these are for your employee impact. In other words, these prohibit employment discrimination based on national origin, color, sex, race, religion, and other related statutes that employment discrimination may have. So it also allows people to file a claim against the employer. Another example I can provide for you for Title VII is, for example, if you apply for a job at a local public agency and you were denied based on these statutes, then you can file a Title VII complaint. So that's a big difference between those two. At times when Caltrans Division of Local Assistance, we do perform what we call on-site review or even a desk audit. We do come across a lot of local agencies do submit paperwork for Title VII. So I just want to make this clarification between those two. Again, Title VI is more for external, meaning it's a public impact. Title VII is for employees. These are the people that handle either your employment, equal opportunity employment, or even your human resources related issues. So that's a big difference between those two. All right, so we're slide number 6. So slide number 6 reads as, what is FHWA Title VI program? It ensures non-discrimination on the ground of race, color, national origin, sex, disability, age in program activity receiving financial assistance, whether those programs or activity are FHW funded or not. So just to go over about this slide regarding the FHW Title VI program plan. While the previous slide we mentioned what Title VI is. Now with slide number 6, it goes into detail what is FHWA. While the original Title VI Civil Rights Act of 1964 law only prohibited discrimination based on race, color, and national origin, the FHWA Title VI program incorporates related statutes that have been passed since 1964. Therefore, they prohibit discrimination based on the disability, sex, and age. So I highlighted the disability, sex, and age with the FHWA Title VI program. So those are the 3 statutes that was included as part of the Title VI program related to only FHW, which is Federal Highway Administration. So that is a big difference between the two. Title VI, you have just the race, color, national origin. However, when FHWA Title VI is involved, then the 3 statutes of disability, sex, and age was included as part of the Title VI program. At the bottom of the slide number 6, you'll see a citation listed, which is 23 CFR Part 200. This provides guidance for implement the FHWA Title VI compliance program under the Title VI Civil Rights Act of 1964 and related statutes. So as we progress through the training, additional resources is provided. As you can see, it's highlighted in blue and underscore. So those are added as additional resources for you all to go ahead and you want to do additional research on the FHWA Title VI program, you can definitely do so on that. We're not going to click on those links due to the communication streamline. It may delay the commute piece of it for us. So, however, it is available for you guys if you guys want to use that in a future reference. All right, so we're on slide number 7. Okay, so here comes the fun part. So slide number 7, there's 2 images. To the right, there's a green start button, and on the bottom is the word agency spelled out with people standing around. The title reads as FHWA Title VI Program. So these are the top 7 requirements and as well as regulations that Caltrans Divisional Local Assistant would like to see on all agency Title VI program plans. So 1 is designation of Title VI coordinator. 2, Title VI assurances in contract document and agreement. 3, Title VI non-discrimination statement. 4, the dissemination of Title VI information. 5, Title VI training. 6, Title VI complaint process. 7, data collection and analysis. So we can go over about these standards a little further so that way we can have a clear understanding what is the FHWA Title VI program plan, okay? The plan contains procedures, strategies, activity to facilitate and ensure non-discrimination in federal program activity. So for example, this plan, we have a procedure, how will you handle your Title VI complaint process, or maybe strategies or how you handle data collections. So the Title VI program plan will detail all these procedures and strategies, how you, the agency, handle all these top 7 requirements. So that's what the Title VI program plan is. Now the Title VI program plan is also a living document. So once you develop this plan, we don't want you guys to leave it out on the counter collecting dust. This is an ongoing plan. We do recommend to update your plan every 3 to 5 years or as needed. So what we mean by that is, if let's say you have a new Title VI coordinator, then that would be a good opportunity for you to update the Title VI program plan. Or maybe you have like a new training, a Title VI training for your staff, and that would also be another good opportunity to update your Title VI program plan. So the Title VI program plan should be a living document. Again, you don't have to update it every year, but we do encourage you to do every 3 or 5 years, or maybe as needed, depending how often your agency have those changes with the top 7 that you're looking at listed on this page. Now, the plan do not need to be submitted to Caltrans for approval. However, if you want Caltrans Division or Local Assistant to look at your Title VI program plan, we can more than happy to make recommendations. But Caltrans Division or Local Assistant, we do not approve that plan. The plan will need to go to your head of your agency. In some cases, it will be your Public Works Director. He or she will be the one to either approve a plan or deny the plan. So there will be the person that will sign it. Once they sign it, finalize it, then that would be something that they will approve. But Caltrans here at the Divisional Local Assistant, we do not approve the plan. We just make a recommendation, but we don't approve the plan here at the state level. Now, another thing to also keep in mind that when you do submit that for the head of the agency or the Public Works Director to sign it for approval, then we also encourage you to also make it a public document as well. So once this is available and signed by your head of agency, this should also be, because this is a vital document, it's very important to make it public too. You can post this on your public library, or could be on your city hall, could be on your public website. So because this is a public document, it should be posted somewhere where the public have access to it, so they can see how your agency is implementing the Title VI program. All right. Now, I know that for some agencies that may not have a Title VI program plan in place or even a plan, that's okay, because we do have examples and templates of Title VI program plans provided on our Title VI website. So we can go over further as we progress through the training. But for meanwhile, we do have examples or templates of what a Title VI program plan looks like in our website. Okay, so for the next few slides, we will discuss the requirement listed on this page. As you know, as we progress, that we can tell you why it's important to have a destination Title VI coordinator, why it's important to have Title VI insurance, and so forth. So as we progress through the training, I can go over each and every one of those requirements. All right, let's move forward to slide number 9. All right, so slide number 9 reads Title VI Coordinator. Designate a responsive point of contact to coordinate Title VI effort. They will have easy access to the head of the local public agency / leadership. Responsible for initiating and monitor the Title VI activity and preparing required report, such as the goal accomplishment report. We can go that in further detail as we progress through the training. What is the goal accomplishment report? Once you designate a Title VI coordinator, it's also important that they're responsible for developing the Title VI information for dissemination. For example, public areas as well as website. So the thing keep in mind with the Title VI coordinator, you want to ensure that they are part of the organizing chart or any vital document. So you want to make sure you identify who is the Title VI coordinator. Now, contractor as well as consultant and other suppliers are not required to identify the Title VI program coordinator. However, local public agencies are required to identify who is the Title VI coordinator. And just a friendly reminder, at the bottom of each slide number, you'll see the citation that's in hyperlink is added as additional resources for you all to have just for future reference. Okay. So the thing with the Title VI coordinator as well is that you can designate as many Title VI coordinators as you want within your agency. The regulation will require you to at least designate one. So you can have 10 in your agency as long as one is identify who is the Title VI coordinator on your paper or any vital document. So that way, when someone have questions related to Title VI program, they can contact he or she, whoever the Title VI coordinator is. That's why it's very important to identify who is the Title VI coordinator. And it could be anyone, but that anyone have to have easy access to the head of agency and also to make decision on the Title VI program plan. All right, so we're on slide number 10. So slide number 10, we're going to spend a little bit more time on this slide because this was a recent update back in September that we made some changes to our Title VI insurances. Okay, so slide number 10 read as Title VI insurances in contract, document, and agreement. The first one, you have the FHWA Form 1273. is required to include in all FHWA contract and subcontract of 10,000 or more. It also allows enforcement of Title VI and other non-discrimination requirements. The Exhibit 4C Master Agreement, which is a MAW, is a local agency signed insertions as part of the Master Agreement. They also conform to Caltrans Local Assistance Procedure Manual, as well as the Local Assistance Program Guidance. We also have the Exhibit 4D, Program Supplementary Agreement, which is the PSA. Each project includes the local agency reaffirmation of the non-discrimination assurances in the Master Agreement. So, sorry, I got that now. Hold on a second. Okay, so with the FHWA Title VI, FHWA Form 1273, which is the first bullet point, is not permitted for any agency to modify the provision. So this is a federal form. FHWA do not want anyone, even the state level, to modify their form or make any provision to it because it is a federal form. They also encourage to have local agency as well as a state agency to physically incorporate in each federal A highway contract, construction contract, in all their agreement and agreement as well as documents. So the FHWA form is more of a federal form and is required for all federal contracts. The second one, which is Exhibit 4C of the Master Agreement, now this is a agreement between Caltrans and the local agency. So whenever a federal or state fund are used on a local project, then this is when the Master Agreement will come into place. So when the local agencies sign the Master Agreement, they basically agree to comply with all federal and state and state regulation as well, policies and procedures. So that's the difference between the Master Agreement and the FHWA form. One is the federal form. The Exhibit 4C Master Agreement is a state agreement. And right below that is the Exhibit 4D Program Supplement Agreement. This is just an additional agreement on top of the Master Agreement. What the supplemental agreement does is that it supplement to the Master Agreement. So it basically formalizes the financial responsibility and the provision for federal aid or state-funded projects. So those three are the Title VI insurance in contract document agreement that every local project should have that in their contract. So the second one and the second bullet point as well as the third bullet point, those are state agreements. So it's just between the agency, the local agency as well, Caltrans. The first one, which is the FHW Form 1273, that is the federal form from FHWA. So those are the difference between those three forms. And right below that, you'll see a hyperlink below saying Local Assistance Procedure Manual, Chapter 9 of Title VI. That can go into further detail what the Master Agreement is, as well with the Program Supplementary Agreement. Again, those hyperlinks is included for each and every one of those bullet points. So when you right-click on that, it's going to bring you directly to the source. For the purpose of this training, we're not going to click on this link. It's going to delay the communication streamline. But the resources is provided available for you all. So in the future, if you want to, know what is FHWA, you can right-click on that link. It's going to bring you directly to the source. Same go with Exhibit 4C, the Master Agreement. You right-click on that, it's going to be directly to the Master Agreement. Okay? So we'll just go ahead and wait. There's another reminder. I know I mentioned this before. We're just not going to click on those hyperlinks just because it's going to delay the communication streamline. All right? All right, so we're on slide number 11. So slide number 11 reads as changes in the Title VI required insurances. So these are the changes I was referring to on my previous slide, on slide number 10. So the first bullet point reads as DOT, which is Department of Transportation, United States Order 1050.2A, required to attach Appendix A to E to comply with Title VI provision. So this order is an update from the original one, which is just without the A, so the 1050.2. So the 1050.2A, as an example, is this an update from the Department of Transportation. They're requiring that all agencies to attach Appendix A to E to comply with the Title VI provision. On the bullet point 2, which is Appendix A to E of the Title VI insurances, this is just a copy of the Title VI. This is a copy of the Appendix E of the Title VI insurances. So on the first one, it's just an order what agency we need to comply with. The second bullet point, we also attach hyperlink for you guys to get a copy of that as well. It's just an example of what a Title VI insurances look like for all the Appendix A to E. Okay. Now the thing with Appendix A to E, the original Exhibit 4C, which is the master agreement that I went over earlier, that original master agreement does not have the Appendix E. This is why there's a new changes to that. The changes require that all agencies attach A to E. With the original Exhibit 4C of the master agreement, we didn't have the Exhibit E included in our master agreement. This is why there's a big change occurred in September 17 of 2020, why we requiring the Appendix E to include in all the Title VI insurances. Okay, and then we also developed what we call FAQ, which is a frequently asked questions. Caltron Division Local Assistant has developed a frequently asked question document to provide additional detail related to the September 17, 2020 announcement to include Appendix E of Title VI insurance in all federal aid contract and agreement. So when you right-click on FAQ, it's going to address some of the concerns that most agencies may have. If not, then you can definitely reach out to Daniel, myself, and Ned, and we'd be more than happy to assist you guys. But the FAQs, we should be able to address some of the concerns that you may have. Why is it required now? Some of the questions we say, if the contract was ended on September 17, 2020, do we need to have the Appendix E inserted into the Title VI insurances? So the FAQ is going to go ahead and address all that. Again, we're not going to right-click on the hyperlink because it's going to delay the streamline of the communication. But it is additional resources provided for you folks so that way if you have any questions regarding to the Appendix E of the Title VI insurances, you can click on the FAQ. It's going to bring you directly to the website. If not, then you can log on to the Caltron Division Local Assistant Title VI website, and FAQ will also be available there as well. Okay. Now, the huge thing to also remember, some helpful information to remember regarding the Appendix E of the Title VI insurances is that you need to be attached in all consultant and construction contract if a project is or will be federalized. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read that again. Appendix E need to be attached in all consultant and construction contract if a project is or will be federalized. Okay, now these changes, as you can see on the note on slide number 11, that these changes are for Federal Highway Administration funds only. I know that there's other federal programs such as the federal FTA, FFA. Now, it doesn't apply to those federal programs. It only apply to the Federal Highway Administration funds only. So these changes to the Title VI requirement only apply to FHWA funds only. It does not apply to any FTA or FFA, which is, the Federal Transit Authorities. It does not apply to their funds. It only apply to FHWA funds only. I do want to make sure I make that clear because we often do get questions. We often do get questions if these applies to other federal programs. No, it only apply to Federal Highway Administrations.